Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are from SRT666. We'll do the group project, which is the video assignment. Let's go. So the title of this research is the comparison of competitive state anxiety inventory between athletes' gender in UiTM Perlis. So for this study, there are two objectives, which is the first one is to evaluate the level of state anxiety between different level of athletes, and the second one is to compare the state anxiety between gender. Now is the hypothesis of the study. There are two hypotheses of this study, which is for the null hypothesis one, there is no significant difference of level of state anxiety between different level of athletes. And for alternative hypothesis 1 is there is a significant difference of level of state anxiety between different level of athletes. And for null hypothesis 2, there is no significant difference of state anxiety between gender. And for alternative hypothesis 2, there is a significant difference of state anxiety between gender.
So as you can see here, this is our data Excel. So we will convert this data Excel to SPSS IBM. So after convert it to the SPSS, as you can see here, there is no missing data for age, gender, faculty, educational level, current semester, major sport, and level participation. The missing is 0, as you can see. For the age, gender, faculty, educational level, current semester, major sport, level participation. There is no missing data, which is the overall 60 participants from the data Excel has been converted into the SPSS. So there are 60 respondents in this study, and this study use Kolmogorov-Smirnova because the requirement respondent is 30 and above. So this is our normality result. It shows that our data is normal because the p-value is more than 0.05. As you can see here, it's more than, the p-value is more than 0.05. So it shows that our data is normal.
As you can see, the score for every variable was stated, and we need to follow it to analyze each variable. To do this, firstly, you need to go to transform and compute variable. First variable is connective state anxiety, which I write on the target variable is connective SA state anxiety. Then on the numeric expression, I'm adding on every questions that were stated in the PDF. For this, some items is question number 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, and 25. Same goes to other two variable, and this questionnaire itself score, which is for the somatic state anxiety. I wrote at the target variable is somatic as A, and for the some items is question number 2, number 5, number 8, number 11, 14, 17, 20, 23, and 26 to wrote on the adding in the numeric expression. Next is for the self-confidence. In the target variable, also I wrote self-confidence, and for the numeric expression, I'm adding the sum items of question number 3, number 6, number 9, number 12, number 15, 18, 21, 24, and 27. In the competitive state anxiety inventory 2 score, which at the target variable I wrote C side 2 score, it says that we need to add all items, but for the question number 14, we need to reverse the value, which in these terms, we need to reverse the value number 1 is to number 4, number 2 to number 3, number 3 to number 2, and number 4 to number 1. That's it. To analyze descriptive statistics for all demographic data, firstly, we need to go to Analyze, Descriptive, and Frequencies. On the variable, I insert every demographic data, which is age, gender, faculty, educational level, current semester, major sport, and level participation. To analyze descriptive statistic for variable that were related to the questionnaire, same as before, we need to go to analyze, descriptive, and frequencies. As you can see, the analyze that we've been doing before is still there, so we need to select everything and put back to its original box on the left. Then we choose all three variables that were needed, which is connective SA, somatic SA, and self-confidence.
Okay, next I'm gonna explain the inferential statistic used for this study. Okay, first we use the descriptive statistic. So in order to identify the first objective of this study, the descriptive statistic was used to measure the level of cognitive state between the athletes. Next is the independence test. So, because the normality test of competitive state anxiety was reported as normal distribution, hence the independence test was used to compare the competitive state anxiety between gender in UiTM per list athlete.
Okay, now I'm going to show how to analyze the competitive state anxiety inventory 2, score through independent t-test, and how to interpret the result. Alright, for the question, it has a 4 scale, which is start from 1 until 4, as you can see. That is from not at all until very much so, in terms of gender between female and male. So now I'm going to use independent t-test, but now I'm going to check the assumption first. So for the gender categories, as you can see, it consists of 2, which is 1 for male and 2 for female. Then I had to calculate the score for the whole scale. Then I'm going to check the assumption that the contribution of the data. So I'm going to analyze, then descriptive statistic, next explore. Okay, so I want to check the assumption of the competitive state anxiety inventory score that contain of cognitive, somatic, and self-confidence. So I'm going to key in CSI score in independent list and gender in sector list. So click on statistic, continue, then plot, click on histogram, and normally plot with test, then click continue, option, continue, then click OK, then wait for the result. Okay, now I'm going to check the test normality. Then look especially at the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. From the statistical technique, p-value of male is no significant, which is 0.104, and p-value for female also is no significant, which is 0.200. Based on the normality test, both female and male, p-value is categorized as a normal because it's greater than 0.05. Then we look at the graph. Alright, from the graphically, both graphs show normal distribution, so assumption is met and the distribution is normal. Thank you.